Hi, my name is Katrinas and I want to show you my little project, which is the VC Mini. There's this little box on the right and I'm using it to control the NUX MG 300. This effects pedal is getting quite popular lately. It really has great effect and amp emulations and is really cheap. I want to show you how I use the VC Mini together with the MG 300. Let's go to jam mode and start the drum machine. With the buttons on the VC Mini I can change pitch. With the two buttons on the MG 300 I can start and stop the looper and the drum machine. And now I can change pitch while the loop is running, so I can stack different sounds on top of each other. I think I'm happy with my loop. There it is. Just noticed the stereo effects are disappearing, so the MG 300 has a mono looper. Here I'm going into overdub mode. Out of overdub mode. Changing pitch again. And play my solo. By pressing and holding the right foot switch, I'm going into effects mode, and now I can switch on the delay effect. This is something that's unique to the VC Mini. You can't do that on the MG 300. Change step tempo. See if I can get a nice ending. Go back to patch mode, select my first patch and make the ending. The MG 300 has two foot switches. These can be used mainly for patch up and down, but unfortunately you cannot skip patches. The foot switches can also control the looper and the drum machine when the MG 300 is in jam mode. But there is no pedalboard mode. In pedalboard mode, individual effects can be switched on and off by pressing a foot switch, but this mode is not implemented. You can switch on and off effects and save it in a patch, but there's no way to do that via a foot switch. The thing is, when an effect is switched off, also the settings of that effect are forgotten. So I wanted to implement pedalboard mode in the VC Mini, and some data is saved on the VC Mini in order to be able to restore all the settings of an effect. And this seems to work okay, and I will show that in the next bit of the video. Also, tap tempo cannot be controlled via a foot switch. There is a tap button, but it's not a foot switch. So that's something I want to implement as well. Some things I could not implement is remote control of the looper and the drum machine in the expression pedal, because there are no MIDI commands to which these effects respond. Maybe in the future NUX will add it. If you're watching this, please do, it would be so great. Let's reconnect the VC Mini and see how stuff has been implemented. Here you see my implementation of patch selection. I can really select any patch. Pressing two buttons will go bank up or bank down, and I can jump to any patch I want. So also the patch names are actively read from the MG 300 and can be read in the display of the VC Mini. The left encoder will go bank up and down, and with the right encoder you can select the tempo. Let's have a look at pedalboard mode. For this we will go to the effects mode on the VC Mini. Currently no effects are enabled, so we have to enable something. Let's edit this on the MG 300. I'm now switching on an effect, and I can switch it off, save it, and now this effect is saved. By selecting the mod effect and changing it on the MG300, can make all my settings. I can also set this effect, switch it off on the VC Mini and save it on the MG300. And now I have another effect. Same can be done for delay and reverb. These are in a separate bank, and here's a tap tempo button as well. Whenever you press save on the MG300, the data is automatically saved on the VC Mini as well, so the two can run in sync. I really wanted to use another effect, that's the MS-70 CDR from Zoom, and connect it together with the MG300. For this I would use a hub, but the problem is I cannot get the MG300 to work through a hub. Maybe I'm able to add this in the future, but currently the VC Mini will just crash, so that's really a pity, because I need the hub in order to have more ports to connect all these devices that don't have ordinary MIDI ports. Without a hub, it all works beautifully. Now there's a bigger version of the VC Mini, which is called the VController. Let's have a look. It has way more buttons and displays, and has a proper metal chassis. With this I can also control the MG300, as the VC Mini and the VController share the same firmware. As you can see, I was changing patches before, and now I'm trying to control the individual effects. This works the same as on the small one. It's just much easier to see what you're doing here. So individual effects can be updated, and they're actively updated in the display. So whenever you change something on the MG300, the VC Mini and VController will be updated also on their displays. So if I want to set the compressor, I can just select it, enable it, make my settings and save it. Same goes for the effects, which are mainly distortion type pedals. And I can work pretty quickly. Go to the delay. Here you see selecting these effects is really handy when you work on this unit. You'll just select the effect and it's selected on the small, on the MG300 as well, so you can work really quickly. Press save and it's all saved on both units. The patches on the VController are saved with a reference to the name of the patch, so when you move patches around, usually it can be found back, but when you change names of patches, then the VController may get confused. The VController and VC Mini are projects of mine I've been working on for many years. Many other devices apart from the MG300 are supported, like Boss Katana, Roland VG99, XFX, Kemper, Helix, you name it, the big ones are all supported. So yeah, for a small device and cheap device like the MG300 to come along was, well, just a fun project for me. But if you want to build a full VController or even the VC Mini, do know that these are quite expensive to build yourself. Occasionally I do build some VC Minis for people. If you're interested, check out the links in the description. I often get asked if I do build the full VController, but unfortunately this is too much work and I've stopped doing these builds. So you'll just have to do it yourself and be persistent if you really want one. This brings me to the end of this video. I do hope you enjoyed it. Bye bye.